All right, guys, what's up? This is going to be a viewer requested video. It's been a couple, it's been a month now since I've got this request, and I couldn't find the time to do it. It was an easy one. Let's bring this up to the front. So I got this request from Eternay, I guess. It says, bro, can you make a video on how to make billions of resources faster as free-to-play so I can sell them for gems? It's a great question. And in fact, it's I should have done that before, even before I got this question, but I got around to it, so we'll talk about this. So first of all, there's two things. Resources, there's inside your bags. So when you look at your bags, you got resources. You can see those from there. You can also see them as a summary in your castle, where you see the total food, stone, timber, ore, and gold. And there's also outside your bag. So this is what you see on the right side. Currently, I sent a bunch of resources to one of my guildmate today because there's an event going on for troop training. So that's why I don't have a lot, but basically this video we're gonna talk about how to get both of them. And so first of all, obviously the resources in your bags they have a lot more value because you can move them around. You can migrate with those, no issues. So basically one of the goals you want is to get as much resources in your bag as possible. And the ones in your bag, you can only migrate with a certain amount. I think for me it's 4.2, 4.3 million. So that's not a lot. So as far as value is concerned, you basically, if you're about to migrate, it's always a good thing to get rid of your resources, either by using them or by trading them. And there's no shame in trading with a discount. If you only got a small amount, you can go around the kingdom, go on the diplomacy board of the other guild and say, hey, I have resources, I'm selling them cheap, they gotta go fast. So resources outside your bag, I would suggest that there's no shame in selling at discount. If you go on Discord and stuff like that line and get people that a lot of people are trying to sell, a lot of people are trying to buy, especially when there's an event coming up, like I think there was Emperor a couple days ago. So check out the events when there's Emperor, Chalice, Baron. People are buying resources whenever whenever KVK is around the corner. A lot of people are buying resources, so that's always a good timing. So all right. So first of all, like I said, there's resources in your bag and outside your bag. So there's ways to get both of them. We'll start with the first one. So the obvious first one is going to be a gathering. So when you gather, there's a couple things. So you want this set. So these are definitely must have. This is for capacity, and then these are for travel speed. The last part, the boots, there are several items you can use. I like the sacred boots. They're free. You get them from, I think, when you start your account, special event. So they give you a mix of resource gathering speed and army capacity. They can be swapped out for the seafarer cleats, which are built with gathering material, and they give you a very high capacity, so that means you risk less troops. I know some people, they want to use that when they do guild fest, which is fine. And then there's also the craggy greaves from Ardrox, which only gives you a resource gathering speed. So this is when there's no risk of getting tile hit. I would suggest using that once it's at purple grade. As you can see, at blue grade, it's not as good as the sacred boots. So basically, these are the three that you can use. You're free to play. You want to make sure your talents, well, if you are going to gather a lot for this, make sure your talents are used, that at least the gathering portion, the gathering 1 and gathering 2 are maxed out. The max load is nice for the capacity, but it's as long as you have enough T1s, you're gonna have enough. They're gonna move fast to the tiles. So I would say just go with gathering 1, gathering 2. If you play long enough, you should have a lot of gathering speed, turf boost. So use them whenever you want to do that, especially during Guildfest. But like just making sure you get a lot of resources by gathering, there's no reason not to use those. Army limit, your castle. As you upgrade your castle, as you can see, I have 7 army limit. But once you upgrade your castle from level 1 all the way to level 25, you unlock 5 army limit. And then there are a couple of research. So if you're a lower might account, I would suggest you go and focus on getting bigger army 1. The other 2, bigger army 2 and 3, they take a longer time. There's a lot of investment to get to there. But they're worth it. Every extra army means a significant upgrade in how many resources, how much resources you get per hour just by gathering. Like I said, there's resources familiar too. A couple of them. 2 of them actually. Goblin, you get the gathering speed, and then Nosferos, you get the army capacity. I think there's one in the... Is it one of the level 1s, which gives you, gathering troop travel speed, which is nice. So familiars, there's artifact too. I would not suggest investing records and brushes on the resource gathering speed or resource gathering artifact, but just by unlocking them, you get some passive bonus like 1.6 here. And 1.6. I did this one because I wanted the range HP, but the resource gathering was a bonus on top of that. And there's also Vergeway. So Vergeway, my suggestion is get to Chapter 11, Stage 1 to at least unlock the cards. I believe, was it Chapter 10? No, you need Chapter 10, Stage 1 to at least have access to all the cards. There are some pretty nice guys for that, but what you're gonna get is you're gonna get 2 of them. Actually, you're gonna get army capacity 1%, and you're gonna get also, I think it's gathering troop travel speed 1%. So there's a couple ones you could get. It's not a lot, but I mean every bit helps. So that's about it for gathering. Gathering will give you resources outside of your bags. So let's talk about ways to get resources in your bags, because those are better for you to transfer to when you want to migrate. So the first one is going to be Monster Hunt. So if you're free to play, you probably have a set like this, either better or worse, but you probably don't have like the ones that cost flames. You probably don't have them at purple grade or anything like that. So with monster hunting, you just need, basically, there's 2 ways to get resources. You just need to hit the monsters, or you need to kill the monsters and then you get guild gifts. So basically, level 1 monsters will give you more resources than other ones per energy. So that's one way to get those. There are some very great monster hunt busts. I know the reset is coming up, but I wanna show, basically. Let me find a level 1 somewhere on the map. I'm close to the base, so that's why don't see a lot of them. I know it cost me like 1.7k, close to 1.8k. I don't have a great monster hunting set. Which, wow, where are you guys? There you go. Okay, so 1.766. I could do 29 hits with a full bar of energy, 29 kills. So if I were to do a monster hunt boss, I would only need to basically get from my bags about 20 hits, 21 hits. But by the time I hit those 29, I probably have enough regained. Maybe not, but close to a full hit regain. So probably like I need probably 20 from the bag, so that's roughly 35,000 energy. Takes about like between 30 minutes and 45 minutes. I know that Avatrex, maybe I know he's not the one organizing this. There's someone from his guild, but they're doing level 1 monster bus. I think it's every Monday, 4 Eastern PM, US time zone. This is great. I've done that once or twice. You get about 50 million of each type of resources. Maybe not gold. I'm not sure, but I was looking mostly for food when I did that. And I stayed 45 minutes because since I have this type of equipment, it took me a longer time to get my 50 hits. But then I did a couple more just because I stayed a little longer. So it's a great way. You only have to pay up basically the extra energy from your bag, which in my case was 35k, which is nothing. So the thing that's most important when you're monster hunting, you want to make sure that first of all that you get your research as high as possible, so that you recover more energy. The energy saver, you use less energy per hit. You get your energy limit to the max. Make sure you research almost everything. Monster Hunt 5 is not needed, but everything above is great for this. There's also energy limit under military common, which I suggest that you max out to. There are make sure your heroes are full of trophies. And use the proper lineup, that they're all rank 8 and gold grade. Some of the heroes also have boosts for Monster Hunt, like Trickster, which has energy boost and energy regain. There's also Scarlet Bolt with max energy boost. And I'm talking free to play, obviously. Like I said, your equipment, these two, the main end and the helmet, will provide energy saver, which is really nice because that means with the same energy you have more hits per day. The other thing, familiars, there is Tempestite. That's really helpful for the energy regain. And there's also Saberfang. Saberfang as travel speed, and also as a hunting ground that I use every day. Adds 15 hunts in a row. So basically lets me kill level 3 in 4 to 5 hits with the setup that I have. Artifact, not really artifact. You get travel speed. You get all types of travel speed, but basically for Monster Hunt, there's Monster Hunt travel speed and like straight up travel speed, which basically what it helps you, you get more hits. It's faster to get your hits. Basically, that's it. So very important, Monster Hunt. Basically, you need to. My suggestion is never get this topped off. Always use your energy before it reaches the limit. Make sure that you grab your guild's gift as well as the bonus chest every time you log in. If your guild is providing you more than 300 chests a day, that means you need to log in more than once a day. If you're only logging once a day, you're gonna be able to get those resources. It's just gonna take some time, so you need to be active. So that's the other one. Going back to resources outside your bag, there's also resource production. So and storage. You could be a hyper and trade with people from your guild. You could do like I do and be a mixed resource producing account. So I get about 1 million of each, and not a lot of gold because I have infirmaries at the moment. But basically, this is you get this. I get this an hour per hour. So you want to max out your building. You could also wear some gears that boost resource production, like timber, gold. I got food on this one. Vergeway also has some cards where you get storage boost and production rate. So like I said, guys, just make sure you get to chapter 10 stage 1 to unlock all the cards, and it's just get your chest every day. And there are some really nice guides if you want to get higher than that. Heroes, important. Make sure that you have them at rank 7. So, for instance, Rose Knight. Well, you unlock this one at rank 2, but you have some heroes, I think, that you get some of the resources at rank 7. Maybe not. It looks like they're mostly at rank 2. Yeah. Looks like they're... Oh, you see this one is at rank 4. I don't know if... It doesn't show there, but I think it only shows when it's locked. But basically what you want to do is you want to get them to rank 8 anyway for Monster Hunt, and then to gold grade so that you boost up the production. So in that case, you got food on this one. Okay, now we're talking about pay-to-play heroes, but let's go back to free-to-play. So you got timber, you got ore, you got gold. So very important. And then obviously the familiars. You got 2 sets of familiars. All the level ones, most of the level ones are resource. So you got these guys, and then once you get to level 2, there's also a couple ones like Evil Weevil, Totem Pest. So very important to get your familiars. Research, same thing. There's 3 sets of research in economy. You gotta get this for T4, but so you have to do it. Military common, like I said, there's energy down there, so it's nice to have. There's the storage here, and then under familiars, which is important for pack 2, pack 3, and pack 4. There's also a couple research for resource production. So this is also a great way to get resources. It improves your storage, so that means that for instance, I don't recall what's the storage on this one. Let's go see. Or I think, yeah, total storage 15 million. So it's gonna produce until then, and then I can trade in, especially for hyper accounts. That's a very good way to go. You hyper one resource and you trade for the other resources, so that you keep getting resources of the one you're hypering. Familiars. Let's go talk about familiar skills. So let's look at this. One of the first one is Gather Round from Evil Weevil. Get 4 hours worth of resources. So what I suggest is you do that every 24 hour. You make sure you swap to the gears that boost resource production, and that's basically if you look at not this, but I would be getting like 4 million, 5 million, and then 4, and then about 250k for gold, and food would be about 1.2 million. So obviously I would swap my gear so that I increase my production. The other ones is Gold Digger from Goblin. That's a pack tree familiar. It's very good. The other one is Nostros, another pack tree. You just send out five armies to gather. Make sure it's level 4 or 3 or 5 if possible. And basically you complete this. It's also a good 24 hour. I usually do this for food. I send that on food, and then I use this to heal. But if you want to do this for your resources that you're gonna sell, that's a great way to do it. There are going to be outside of your bag. Same thing with Gold Digger and Gather Round. And the other one is not really resources, but it's Quiris, the stamina. Basically, you get stamina, and stamina can then be turned into a speed up and gold. So it's not a lot, but if you look at this, with 6 stamina, I'm getting 1,400, close to 1,500 gold. So basically, it's a small source of gold, but it adds up. Let's go back to resources that you can get in your bag. Well, it's going to be a mix. So VIP quests, make sure you open those up. That's not a lot, but I mean, it's 6 chests with some resources. Guild and admin and guild quests will give you resources outside of your bag. Obviously, you should be food negative, so I mean, most people are food negative, but make sure that whenever the cooldown is off that you open these. I don't suggest using the turf quest for resources, even though it's a source. You're gonna inflate your might, which could hurt you when it's time to migrate. The other one is daily quests, so you get resources from getting the quests outside your bag, but then the various tiers you get resources in your bag. So there's no reason not to do those on a daily basis. There's way too many. You want the artifact coins, you want the royal coins, you want the chest. Yeah, there's no reason not to do those. Next up, cargo ship. Cargo ship will swap resources from outside your bag into your bag. So it's a great way to to convert them to your bags. Personally, I don't do food anymore because I don't have enough food in my bags, but otherwise I try to trade everything. You got to do the events, guys. All the events. So make sure you optimize your speed up for solo on an L event as well as challenge. Otherwise, is there any events going on? No, there's not, like the timetable events. Guild Fest, do Guild Fest, get the rewards. Dragon Arena, there's some rewards in there. Guild Bash, also some rewards. I don't think Guild Bash gives you some resources, but I mean, kill monsters during Guild Bash. Lord's Cup will give you rewards. Getting at least the 3 phases and helping your guild to get a better ranking will give you better rewards. So these are must do for everyone. And like I said, as far as trading, the rates really depend on the kingdoms, on if it's a dead or active kingdom. And obviously, like I said, if you have a lot of resource outside your bag, you need to sell inside your kingdom. So people will not migrate to your kingdom to get resources. You need to migrate to their kingdom for that. So the ones outside your bag, you need to sell inside your kingdom, and there's no shame in selling at a discount. But make sure that for those that you trade from your bags, now you get the right rate, and don't forget that it's going to cost you, let's look at this, it's gonna cost you 1 migration scroll just to get there to sell, and 1 more to come back, and that's if you're a low level account. And when I say low level, I mean I'm a low level account. If you're outside of the top 50, it will cost you only 1 scroll. So make sure that you are outside the top 50, and that you're going to a kingdom where you're outside the top 50. Otherwise, it might not be worth it to migrate just to trade resources for gems. Now, as far as getting gems, it's up to you guys. The things you can get from the gem store, it's really up to you. People trade usually for speed up, because free to play we get the resources, but speed up are harder to get. Also, if you want to upgrade your gear, there's kind of 2 things you gotta get. It's you could get the Holy Stars, which I don't suggest. I don't think it's the best use of gems. You could get Archaic Tomes, but then you would get a bad rate because it's only 900 instead of the 810, which also is not suggested, but I would suggest going with luck tokens. So luck tokens, orbs, and speed up are some of the best ways to get some of the best things you can get from the gem store when you're trading with someone. And you got to make sure you're trading with someone that's higher might, or at least have access to an account with higher might with the Elite Labyrinth, because otherwise they will not be able to gift you anything from the gem store. So So yeah, guys, that's about it. You gotta be patient. Free to play, patient. You gotta be consistent. You gotta play every day. You gotta do the events. That's about it. And then find the right person to trade. Sometimes you can simply trade inside your kingdom at a discount. It's not a bad deal. At the end of the day, you're looking to get better. You're looking to progress on your account, and you cannot do that if you if you don't do the legwork. So, all right, guys, that's about it. If you have any other suggestion on how to get resources and all that stuff, please write it down below. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be happy with this kind of information. Everything is possible when you're free to play. You just got to do the work. You just got to be patient and plan and everything like that. So